Hopefully this darn thing is in focus. That sure would be nice. But just asking you for a friend to be perfectly clear. What does it mean when God is silent? I ask the question because I think it's a common enough experience for us that it deserves thinking about and talking about. And when I'm saying God is silent, I'm speaking in terms of prayers that we say, aside from the recited prayers, aside from rosary or liturgy. I'm talking about the circumstance where there's a conversation that's attempted. Me talking to God, me listening to God. And it's this phenomenon of speaking and thinking that we're not hearing anything in return. Circumstances might arise in the quiet of the day when we're have a moment to step aside from the activities of the day, and we have an opportunity to pray. And we send up our prayers, as the metaphor goes. We send them up to the heavens, and ideally we want to hear something back, and often there's silence. Or in the time after the Eucharist, you remember as kids we were taught to come back to the pew after communion, after receiving the Eucharist, and put our face in our hands. You don't see that much anymore, young, old, or otherwise. It's a thing of the past. But in that moment, we were taught to reverence the reception of the Eucharist, the Christ within me. And in those moments, we may come to the place where we're expecting to hear something from God, and all that we hear is crickets. Now, I don't want to over-complexify this situation, this problem, but in a sense, it's hard not to be complex. Because when I say we hear nothing from God, is it saying that I'm not hearing what is being said because of some fault within me? No doubt about that. Or is it that we're saying that there's nothing there, that we're not expected to hear anything in return because indeed God is silent? Could it be that we've got our own volumes turned up to 11 to something else, and we can't hear God for all of the noise? Or could it be that we've got the volume turned down to 0 and we don't hear anything because maybe we're just looking inward instead of opening ourselves to what might be coming to us? I suppose it could be any of those things. And I think it's something for us to explore what it is that this voice might be that we are expecting to hear. A voice, that's to anthropomorphize it. Is it communication, said more abstractly? So even if I have my receivers turned up to 10, am I going to hear something? Now let's assume that indeed there is a silence, there is a dryness, there is a lack of hearing God, whatever that word hearing might mean, however that's manifested in our consciousness. Assume that indeed there is a silence in our prayer. Looking at this from another direction, can we just ask, is there any good that might come from this?